Hello, I'm Jennifer, and coming up next on Avid Achievers, I'll be talking with Olu Watosin, a former Glen Burnie High School graduate. Hello, and welcome to Avid Achievers. I'm your guest host, Jennifer Ballard, and today I'm joined by Olu Watosin, a former Glen Burnie High School student. Olu, it's so nice to see you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Before we talk about your college experiences, let's take a step back in time and tell me about your experience in Avid at Glen Burnie High School. So how long were you in the Avid program?
I was in Avid for 2 years at Glen Burnie.
Okay, and that was your junior and senior year.
Yes.
And why were you not involved earlier in high school?
Because I moved from Nigeria when I was 14 years old, so I didn't get the chance to start high school here from 9th grade.
Okay, and then so when you came here, I remember you were a 10th grader at first, and then over the summer they moved you to senior year, like you skipped junior year. And I was so surprised and a little nervous for you because of all the Avid preparation that we do. So what are some things that you remember doing in Avid that have benefited you in college?
In Avid, I would say just learning how to take notes, like the Cornell style notes. I still use that till today. And just learning how to do tutorials or collaborating with people to apply for college just really helped me come out of my comfort zone. And I'll say that really helped me come out of my shell at the time.
Nice. And have you ever, throughout your college experience, gotten together and studied with people outside of class?
Yes, that's really what got me through college. I always study with people. Even till now, I still study with people. So I say Avid really taught me a lot in terms of that.
That's great. Now, thinking about your college experience, do you remember what colleges you were looking at and why you decided upon Towson?
I was looking at, I don't remember the exact list. I was looking at colleges that would favor me financially because at the time I was dependent on financial aid to go to college. So I remember Towson being one of the schools that covered 90% of my expenses. So I would say that was my top choice. I don't remember the other schools I picked, but Towson also has a great academic program. So that was definitely my top choice.
Okay, now I hope I don't embarrass you, but I remember you called me up the first week of school at Towson, and you were so upset because of the dorm situation, the bathroom situation. You didn't know if you could stay there.
Yeah.
And I gave you that little pep talk. So how did you overcome that? Because I know it's a really big adjustment to having your own bathroom in your own house to sharing it with a bunch of different people that you don't even know on your floor.
It was an experience for sure. It got better because that was just a freshman year dorm, so my second year I had a way better, nicer dorm, and I just had to make friends and learn that it was like an adventure. Looking back now, I laugh about it because it really wasn't that bad. It was just a big change, and I'm glad I did it, and I would do it again for sure.
That's great. Now, why did you decide to choose Towson?
I would say for the finances, they gave me a great package when it comes to financial aid. They gave me an institutional grant, and they also have a nice program for the sciences, and also their educational program is really great. It's also in Maryland, and I wanted to stay in Maryland close to my family. So those were the main reasons.
Okay, and what did you major in at Towson?
Biology.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
What was that like? What were your classes like? And biology, you have labs and stuff too, right? So you're sometimes in the classroom for longer because of all the labs that a biology major might have.
Yes. It was definitely overwhelming. It was an experience. I had to learn how to study all over again. I had to learn how to work with people and just time management, planning, using a planner. But overall, I learned a lot and I was able to pull through.
That's good. Now, how many different dorms or living areas did you have when you were at Towson?
Personally or in general?
In general, at your experience.
In general, I would say Towson has about up to 10 dorms, And they also have like apartment style dorms for like upperclassmen. So that's really great.
And I know that sometimes people are afraid of like getting a roommate that they don't get along with. Now,
Hmm.
did you continue to room with your roommate as the years went on, or did you like branch out and move off campus, or what was that experience like?
After my freshman year, I roomed with a friend, and it was a great experience from there on. So I roomed with her for the remaining 3 years of college, and eventually we got like an apartment style dorm. So it got really better as the years went by.
That's really nice. So, what did you do after you graduated Towson?
So I took a gap year to apply for dental school and study for the DAT, which is like an exam you have to take to get into dental school. And I just worked during many months and I got into dental school.
That's awesome. I remember you told me you wanted to be a dentist, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that takes a special person to want to be a dentist. And I don't hear that a lot from my students. So that's awesome that you were able to get in and stick with it too. Now, what has your dental experience been, and where are you going to get that?
Right now I am in University of Maryland School of Dentistry in Baltimore. And it's definitely been an experience. It's overwhelming, but I'm learning a lot. I'm very grateful to be where I am today. And I'm in my third year in dental school right now. And I would say, it's getting real, getting to actually put into practice what I've been learning throughout the years and just seeing what I'm passionate about being real. It's really exciting for me.
So, how is undergraduate life different from graduate life?
It's definitely a big difference. I would say graduate school is more time consuming. It's more of a 9 to 5. You're in school all day, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. You have
Wait,
no,
so that's just like high school,
yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Why are you in school for that long?
because we have classes and then we have labs and then we have clinic blocks. So it's a lot of learning to combine.
Mm-hmm.
And we also don't have like long breaks like undergrad. Like we don't have a full summer break after the first year of dental school. So right now, like I still have to go back to school this summer for clinicals, and I don't mind it because I get to learn what I love. But it's definitely a big difference from undergrad where you like get breaks or even in a day you could take 1 or 2 classes. You're out there all day. So yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
You got to be dedicated to do that. So
Mhm.
kudos to you. What was the test called again that you had to take, and how did you prepare for it?
It's called the DAT, the Dental Admissions Test. I took 3 months to prepare for it because it's really challenging, and it's really studying most of the sciences you learn in undergrad. And yeah, I just took my time to make sure like I was really prepared for that test because it was very important for dental school.
And was there a fee for it?
Yeah, it cost about, I'm not sure the exact amount, but I want to say $300.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are the clinicals that you're referring to? What do you do there?
So, and once you get to third year in dental school, you start working with patients, and you're supervised by a doctor, multiple doctors, and faculty members. But you do start like working and putting into practice what you've been training for beforehand. So that's what we're doing or starting to do now.
So, can you give me an example of that? Like, is it with patients or no? Like, you're like working on dummies, or like, what do you mean?
So the first 3 years we did work on dummies, but now it's real patients. Patients come to the clinic. My school has a clinic for people to come to,
Mm-hmm.
and various departments and patients come. They book an appointment, and then we treat them, and we're supervised every step that we do by a doctor, and that's just how we learn, and that's really what clinic is about.
Can you remember like the first time you worked with an actual patient? Like, what was what did you have to do, and what were you thinking and feeling?
So I start this summer to see
Okay.
my first patient, but I've only like assisted or watched, a procedure being done, but I haven't like, done it myself yet.
Is there anything that you're really looking forward to doing? Like, I know some people, they talk about the braces or, repairing or like filling a cavity. But is there anything that you're like, oh, I really want to do that? And then some like, I hope I don't have to do too much of that?
I'm looking forward to anything general dentistry. That is what I want to do long term. I love doing crown preps. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Yeah, I've had a crown or two.
Yes, so yes, I love anything crown prep related.
Why is that?
I don't know, I'm really good with well, I don't mean to brag, but I love working with my hands.
Okay.
I'll put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you do have to use your hands a lot with crown preps, and it's very specific with the measurements and all, and just making sure like the crown fits and it retains and all that. So, it's something that excites me, and it's also a cosmetic procedure,
Mm-hmm.
for some people. So, I like, just maintaining that beautiful look and making people have a beautiful smile again.
That's great. And what sparked your interest in dentistry, and how long have you wanted to do that?
So I've wanted to be a dentist since I was 7 years old. And what sparked my interest would be like, I grew up in Nigeria where like they did have dentists there, but dental care was not like a priority. You weren't really expected to see a dentist every 6 months or every year. It was more so like when there was a problem, or for people that were rich or wealthy, they would, go get braces or whatever they could afford. So for me, I witnessed my mom go through like a traumatic dental experience where she didn't want to see a dentist because she didn't want to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no insurance or programs to help you pay for it. So that just really sparked up my interest, and eventually she had to have a tooth extracted, and it was just like a whole traumatic experience for her. And I was like, you know what, I would like to, be a dentist and help people out. And even moving here to America, I discovered like there's people here that also don't have access to dental care, and even with insurance and all, it's still very expensive, healthcare. So I would like to just be a part of the dentists that could help in any way they can. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And to know that it's 7 and then to stick with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, undergraduate life is difficult enough, but now, going to graduate school and you're in your 3rd year and, not, like you said, not having those like separate downtimes of like 6 weeks off, four weeks off here and there, that's a big commitment.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you're nervous about with becoming a dentist?
I would say I'm nervous about the remaining 2 years. It's critical for your hand skills. This is when you actually do start to, use your hands and put into practice what you've learned. So I would say I'm definitely nervous to just, I do want to be a great dentist. I want to do a good job, not just get by dental school. So I'm nervous, but I'm trusting God that everything will work out. So
that's wonderful. And why did you choose UMD to do your graduate school? Like, are there any other programs, or why'd you go that route?
So I wanted to stay in Maryland, close to my family, and University of Maryland is the only one in Maryland. And they're also the first dental school in the world, like the first established dental school
Seriously?
in the world. Yes. So they have a great prestige. They have like really advanced training and resources. So it was like a dream for me to go there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So thinking back, 4 years undergraduate, 3-year graduate, is there anything that you would redo if you had the option?
I would say going back to undergraduate, I would start studying more earlier. I would say like even if I knew what I had to do studying with undergrad, I feel like I didn't go out there enough. I didn't find the resources until like maybe my 2nd year. So going back, I would definitely like just put myself out there more earlier. But yeah, that's all I would have to say about that.
That's great. And, thank you again so much for joining us today. I wish you the best of luck, and you're going to have to keep in touch. And I want to see you back here on the show to learn all about your career field as a dentist.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Avid Achievers. I hope to see you next time.